Lots to get through. But first up, as King Charles convalesces following his shock cancer diagnosis, royal insiders are said to be concerned about the King's workload and whether he will allow himself the time and space to make a full recovery. So what's the best way forward for our monarch? Should King Charles have a year off and put William in charge? To discuss this, I'm delighted to welcome top royal journalist Pandora Forsyth. Pandora, your first time on the show. What a thrill to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
On your way to a party at your mum's.
Yes, I am indeed, and she'll love the fact that you just said that on air, so thank you.
Well, there you go. She can keep the food warm whilst we talk about the King.
Yeah.
He's a famous workaholic, so he's going to struggle to take any time off, isn't he?
Yeah, well, quite right. You said it, not me. He is famously known for working too hard. The fact is, he's waited for this position for so many years of his life. The late Queen, who was, in the right spot at the right time, has all had the training that he could get. But the thing to focus on here, if he was not well enough to work in terms of all of his head of state role, he wouldn't be working, and the doctors would say, no, that is quite enough. I really don't think he should step down from the head of state work. He's, only a year and a bit into his monarchy. I really don't think this is the right time. And also, the Prince of Wales has got to concentrate on Catherine. She's also not going to be back working until Easter. He's got so much in his calendar already. I don't see how he would step up and then be able to fulfil all of their engagements, which are already booked by the rest of the family.
In the run-up to this cancer diagnosis, was it your sense that King Charles' schedule was too full already? Does he work too hard?
He doesn't work too hard. He loves his work, and he also understands what a privilege it is to be working in his position. He completely gets that. And also, he loves working with the charities as well, and so does the Queen. All of her work with domestic abuse victims, etc. This really does give him the opportunity to really, push those forward. The one thing I think that he does regret slightly from stepping up as king is he's not been able to push so much about the eco stuff that he obviously is so vocal about. And that is something that he's very, very keen on. But I think that's why he's got William on the phone and he sees him very regularly. And they talk so much. Their communication is the best it's ever been.
A great relationship, perhaps even better since the Duke and Duchess of Sussex headed off to America. It seems to have strengthened their relationship and their bond, perhaps. He's got one son that he can rely on. I wonder about this health scare. Of course, we wish him a speedy recovery. Yeah. But is it a wake-up call? And will it make William think, do you know something, I am going to be king and... it will...
I think it's probably been a complete shock for everybody.
Because it makes you consider, and it's a terrible thought, but the King's mortality, doesn't it?
Well, quite. And he's the oldest monarch we've ever had. Quite frankly, the fact that we're now thinking about this, not even 2 years into his reign is quite worrying.
Most definitely. This will be a tough time for Queen Camilla as well. Do you think she's got the character and the strength to support the King right now? Yeah,
what a change in terms of press over the years that Camilla's been at one point villainised in the press.
Correct.
And now...
Homewrecker.
Well, all of the headlines over the years. But she's taken it in her stride, and now look at her. She's getting fabulous press, so I'm sure the King will be very happy about that too.
What do you think about this, Sajila Kershi, my top Friday friend today? Do you think that the King should have a year off and put William in charge?
I personally do. I think it's a condiment. So it's a condiment, a stepping up, like a little sort of trainee kind of period. I think, and he has a year out, like...
L plates, maybe?
L plates. No, because I just feel like if only our late, great Queen could have done the similar for Charles, then he could have, had a better go at being a king at a younger age. And I think the King should put his health first, have a year out, and let William do a little run-in. And I think that's actually progressive and moving forward.
Well, I'm warming to this idea, Jerry. I know it's unconstitutional, but the idea of William as deputy king.
It's unconstitutional. 100 Guinness, please.
Oh, dear, and you're a lawyer. You'll get the money. Where do I sign?
Not a deputy, he's not the deputy king. I think he should, as you said a moment ago, be given more power. There might be a regency There are all sorts of possibilities. But the fact is, you've got to remember, Charles is 75. It's a time when you really need to put your feet up, and it's a time when things can go wrong with your health. His mother lived, God knows how long, the Queen Mother lived for just under 100, I think. You can't say that about Charles, you just don't know.
So your solution would be that he takes his foot off the gas a little bit and allows his young son to do some of the heavy lifting?
Yes, of course.
So he stays king, but his lad does a bit more?
Yeah, but he won't want his son to take over the kingship because any privacy he's got will disappear. He wants to be with his sons, his daughter, and he wants to let them have a proper life, not the total scrutiny. They've got a bit of privacy now, but that will go, won't it, Pandora?
Yeah, it will.
Just disappear.
I mean, we have to bear in mind he has put off the gas a little bit. He's not doing any face-to-face engagements for the foreseeable.
Yeah, he's sticking with the admin, isn't he? He's going to be going through sort of ministerial documents, meeting Rishi Sunak once a week, which is probably not going to improve his health.
Yeah.
Mustn't meet Liz Truss. You know what happens when you meet her?
Not good.
When Liz Truss turned up, he just said, "Oh dear, oh dear."
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Then she shook hands with his mum and she died.
Oh dear, kiss of death.
Yes.
Listen, it's obviously, you know, it's something we really hope is a temporary health issue, and we're praying for speedy recovery. But we also need to get our heads around the idea, Pandora, that the king may not be able to have the sort of robust schedule that he once had ever again. That is a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a possibility. And if he has any say in it, I'm sure he'd love to go back once he's, let's hope, fully recovered, back to the busy schedule. But we have to also bear in mind his age. But I think this is a really good opportunity to see what the monarchy could look like in a few years' time. And also look at Prince William and how he steps up now, really, with all of the engagements that he does do in a respectful way. You know, we saw him at the Air Ambulance Gala the other night, and he did also say in his speech as well, you know, all the well wishes. But he did lead, actually, thanking them for the well wishes to Catherine and then his father.
He gets it right.
Yeah, he does.
He gets it
he just
right.
knows what to say,
and he gets
doesn't
it
he?
right. Unlike his grandmother, the Queen, who's a wonderful person, all the rest of it, but you know that someone had written all those things, you know, that recollections may differ. Oh, her was. No, someone wrote that. But when William does it and Catherine does it, you know it's from the heart. And that's what people want to see.
Well, he was with Tom Cruise the other day, and actually, between the two of them...
Little and large, wasn't it?
Well, just a bit, right? But Tom Cruise and Prince William looks like the movie star.
He does.
Well, Tom Cruise looked like he was in awe of him as well. So
Yeah.
He did, actually.
Well, he did.
You don't have to go to Hollywood to get the Hollywood stars to come to you.
Do you think he wanted to recruit Prince William, the Prince of Wales, into Scientology, perhaps?
Well, that would have been a conversation, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? I don't think it would come down very well.
No, it's a bit awkward considering they think the Queen was a lizard, so that's a bit awkward, isn't it? I'm sure that's not true.
That's not true. That's not Scientology.
There'll be some Scientologist heavies outside.
They will be.
They waiting for me.
Yes,
I
they
would
will.
In an
go
SUV.
down that route.
Can we talk about Prince Harry, who has settled his phone hacking claim with the Mirror Group, Pandora?
Yeah.
Your reaction?
Well, the lawyer said in his speech today, didn't he, our mission continues, and it very much will. You know, it's the end to that case, but then the trial for the son will be coming in 2025. We're going to be hearing lots more about this, and the fact this was another win today for Harry. He wasn't even in the court. I mean, he was in the court last year in June, but he didn't even have to be in the court to win.
And he's had a bit of a go at Piers Morgan, who has had a busy week himself, but he's been saying that he doesn't accept Piers Morgan's claim that he knew nothing about phone hacking when he was editor of The Mirror. And through his lawyers, William, and I think directly as well, is saying that he doesn't buy that. He thinks Piers must have known all along.
Yeah, and Piers completely denies it.
Yeah.
And actually, it was the fact that the judge said today that both sides have been extremely confrontational in this whole trial, I think sort of says it all. It has been a bit of a media circus.
Yeah, I mean, are you in Team Harry or Team Piers on this one?
Oh.
That's hard, isn't it?
Oh.
She's Team Pandora.
Yeah, also, that is my former...
Let's not open that box.
Oh.
Never done that before, have you?
Well, no, never. Never.
So
How original. That is my former employer, so I'm going to stay on the neutral ground.
Did you work for Piers?
I worked at Reach PLC, which is obviously different from the Mirror Group way back when. But
listen,
for that reason, I'm going to stay neutral.
I've had a few on-air clashes with Piers, but he's a really nice guy, and he's going to move on from his regular Talk TV show and do YouTube. What do you think about that? Do you think he'll be successful?
Well, going on to more digital channels, as we all know, working in the media, it's changing all the time. I think from that perspective, I think it's great. He'll get lots of new subscribers that way, and of course, it's monetisable. And where there's money to be made, people will definitely be going down that avenue.
Pandora, get over to your mum's.
Yes,
because she's
waiting. I will.
Apparently, the bubbly has lost its fizz, so you better get a move on. My thanks to Pandora. Forsyth, where can you be found? You're on Twitter and everything, aren't you?
Yes, I'm on Twitter. Instagram, wherever you need me.
But a royal correspondent who looks normal.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry.
Because most of them look really weird.
I know. It's like that.
Look what?
A career as a royal
Weird.
correspondent, ex-Conservative MP, it's enough to rot your brain. OK.